Hi, my name's Steve. Welcome to my channel, Working on the House. If you're a returning subscriber, hi, thanks for tuning back in. It's been a long time since the last episode I'd done, which was rerouting a lot of the pipe work. I wasn't 100% happy with that, so I've revisited and made some slight tweaks and improvements to that. Hopefully it'll be a little bit more thermally efficient now. And I've actually got some better gaps between the pipe work, so I'm actually able to install pipe insulation. So I'll pan around shortly and show you that. Also, I realised purely by chance that I'd made a mistake with the plumbing last time. I tapped into the return pipe work. There were two return legs. I tapped into both those separate return legs, so I've redone that now, which has made a massive improvement. And I'll pan around and show you that in a moment. Originally, the hot and the cold pipe work took this route along here, and I've subsequently rerouted all that running along there, and there's a sufficient gap between all the pipe work now. Now it's all lagged and insulated and actually properly suspended with pipe clips, so it's much better. All along this route it's all been insulated now, and I don't know if you can see that there, but that's, where am I? There we go. I capped that off, and I've now gone into the proper flow pipe, which I discovered by accident. Just by holding the pipes I could feel the thermal difference in the temperatures, and I realised that was the flow. So that's been redone now, and that's made a massive difference to the radiator downstairs and upstairs, so it's much better. I've installed an additional batten here, so it's much closer to the ceiling, because there's quite a big gap there before. Obviously that's where the two pipes were. This is the product I'm going to use. It's rock wool insulation, so it's basically spun glass fibre. Not the nicest stuff to work with. It's pretty hideous. I'll wear a mask to try and prevent breathing in too much of it. It's basically 400 wide, so hopefully that should compress and fit quite nice and snug. I think it's about 360mm gap between centres, if I remember rightly. So they should stay in place quite well. I think these are quite often called bats, I think, but they're pre-cut and what have you. So yeah, let's cut it open and start fitting them. But this is specifically for acoustic insulation. Obviously I'm not worried about thermal insulation, because it's all part of the same house. It'll just be heat leaking from upstairs to downstairs, or vice versa, which I wouldn't be worried about. Team. 300, 345. Beautiful. now just need to get about 10 times quicker. Locking mechanism. Oh, I tell you how it was. Right. Sorry it's so dark. Obviously I've had to take the light down. So what I need to do now is I need to start notching out for the pipe work, the cables, so I can get the plasterboard exactly where I need it. So for example, these cables here, so I need to notch out the plasterboard. I'm going to use one of these. It's got a pad saw. It's got rough serrated teeth. to. To all those drywallers out there, I can only apologise, but I'm doing my best. So I finished the majority of the ceiling last night. There's a few little slithers that I've got to do because it wasn't quite long enough for a 2.4 long sheet. So I'm just going to have to put a thin sliver in at the ends. I've staggered the boards so all those slithers won't be in a row. That's quite important to do. Didn't do that previously. In fact, I'm going to show you that now. So you can see here I need to fit a slither. So I brought this board all the way across so you don't get one continuous join all the way along. Pan around to the other side. So you can see it's short on this side. When I did upstairs and downstairs, I didn't do that, which was a regret. But same with all these things, it's a learning process, and the more you learn, the better you get. Right, so I'm going to start on the walls now. It's not full height, unfortunately. Normally, with a full sheet, you go floor to ceiling, just without any cutting. But because the ceiling's not quite full height here, I'm going to have to trim them slightly. So 2245. I measured that in a couple of separate places because the floor is not perfectly level. Again, I've only got myself to blame for that, but there you go. 2245. Yep, that's slightly shy because you don't want it too tight. Otherwise, you just make it awkward for yourself, and you don't want it touching the floor anyway. Firstly, if there's any damp in the floor, which there shouldn't be, because obviously I've used a damp-proof membrane. But then, if you ever have a leak or what have you, if it's on the floor, it'll if the plasterboard touching, it'll wick up the wall. So you're better off leaving a slight gap. I'm doing it with pencils, it's easier, but ordinarily you just use the knife. It's just one tool to use then. Always being careful when you're cutting up like that towards yourself. So now it's scored, I can score a little bit deeper freehand. Again, being very aware, I'm cutting up from the back, I could slip and catch my wrist, so keep the offcuts. Now, what I'll do is I'll put the cut edge, because it's not going to be quite as square or neat, I'll put that at the bottom where it doesn't matter so much, not quite so critical, and then I'll keep the original factory finish top at the top, and then that will butt nice and cleanly up against the ceiling. 70. 205. 50. 555. For this piece, I'm not going to go vertically because a full sheet at only 1200 will be slightly shy. Stupid floppy tape measures. There you go. It'll be slightly shy, so I don't want to have a slither in the corner to deal with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it on the horizontal. So I'll cut the board to this length, which is 1290, and then I can put an additional piece on the top, and that will make it much easier to figure out how to get around the pipe work as well. Not sure what I think about this yet. I need to adjust. It's better. as well. That'll go underneath. $2.15. Voila. Well, that's it. I pooped. I didn't quite get it finished today, which is a shame. But I'm back to work again tomorrow morning, so I ought to get a bit of rest tonight before we go back to work. So there you go. Only a few bits left, a few fiddly bits, but I've done the majority now of the boarding. So really happy with the progress I've made this weekend. And yeah, that's it. So I'll get on with editing and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Thanks, bye.